A new viral ad hits Facebook, questioning many parents as to why YouTube is taking money to promote assisted death for children. Especially with the new rules changing in Canada, people have the right to have questions, but we have the answers here. Let's get into it.
Oh, yeah!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Fringe. Usually I try to get videos out in a normal Monday to Friday range, and then sometimes an extra little nugget happens to drop, and it's just too good to not talk about. This, again, is one of my top concerns when it comes to why I'm even on this platform. As many times on this channel, we talk about politics. We talk about people's ability to pay their bills, taxes, scandals within the government. One of the biggest scandals that I think, and one of the reasons that I prefer to be on this platform to try and push for any kind of change, is the toll that lockdowns, that medical assistance in death has pushed onto people, that there's no other answer. And I believe, again, that there is an answer, and the path that the government is taking when it comes to how easy it is to simply turn your back on your life is astounding. But I wanted to get into this viral ad today. It was sent to me early this morning, and it sparked outrage. I actually tweeted out Team YouTube saying, why would you allow this kind of an ad to be on the platform? Now, I am going to warn people. There is some graphic things being discussed here. I usually try to keep my videos friendly, even though, again, I don't encourage politics around kids, but for language, for things like that, I try not to go overboard. But there is some things being suggested in this video, as well as some language. So if you do have your children around, if they can hear the audio, my advice is maybe watch the video a little bit later. But I digress. I'm going to show this ad, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what this is, because I can tell you right now, I was outraged. And then looking into a little bit more, well, we'll get into that. But let's just play the ad. I will apologize for the audio. There is a better version of this on the website that I'm going to show afterwards. I won't go through the ad again, but I wanted to show the context, because here is the problem, and I wanted to show the way that it's laid out on YouTube and why the controversy is being caused. Let's take a look at the ad.
Looking like a little skeleton if things don't improve. And if you're approved, take a little shot and then the pain is removed. It's okay to pass away today. It's okay to pass away.
This is like an ad that came on in the middle of the video I'm watching on YouTube. Like, I have no fucking clue what I'm like. Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing?
Of course, the website ends with this very alarming ad. Keep in mind, this is a sponsored ad on YouTube. Terminalwellness.com. So I want to get into this because I'm sure everybody who watched this video all of a sudden is going, what the actual hell is this on YouTube? Keep in mind that the way that this is set up. Now, if you've ever heard of, which you probably haven't because it was a very underground show that was on MTV in the early 2000s, there was a show called Wonder Chosen. And it was essentially a parody of Sesame Street, where you had adult themes, like drugs and crime and different situations around puppets and children, that really pushed the boundaries at the time. It was a rated mature show, very, very edgy, I'll say. Now, that show came out in the early 2000s, and we haven't seen anything like it since. But when you go to terminalwellness.com, of course, it shows Terminal Wellness, and as you scroll down, there's an actual trailer by the looks of it for Terminal Wellness. But it shows here genre dark romantic comedy. An adequately unbalanced balanced blend of absurdist satire and existential humor wrapped up in a dark romance. So it's an Indiegogo campaign for some kind of movie, I guess, or something that people are wanting to put together that's humoristic. But when you look at this ad, the concern that I have is that there's nothing in this ad that stipulates that this is satirical, that this is parody. Again, as somebody who works in this realm, I put out political satire books that are made for adults, drawn for children, that make fun of Justin Trudeau, that make fun of politics. And a lot of people, a lot of the time, come to me saying, "Hey, you're indoctrinating kids. These are kids' books." I've made it very clear on a very regular basis, including with our warnings at the beginning of our books that or disclaimers, I guess, that these are for adults. This does nothing to, and maybe that was the idea, but it does nothing to set up that this is for children. So my concern, though, with this ad and ads like this, is that this is relevant in Canada today. This is something we see a lot of in Canada today. And honestly, the first time I seen this ad, it didn't surprise me that this is what is being shown around the internet and people freaking out. And I know that was the design of this ad, but the problem with YouTube, I can honestly say I don't let my children on YouTube. I don't allow my kids, even kids YouTube. There's times where even though that's supposedly curated content, content gets through on that app to kids. Of course, you know, my kids are reaching 10 years of age. They'll sneak on. You know, all their friends watch YouTube. They want to get on YouTube. So anytime I've caught them sneaking onto the platform, I certainly don't barrel down on them for doing so. I question why they did it without, you know, talking to an adult. But usually I'll sit there and I'll try to watch the content they're watching. Usually it's Minecraft videos or something very innocent. But if they were watching YouTube and this popped up, what are children going to make of this? Again, there's no disclaimer of satire. There's no extended trailer or explanation as to what it's going, because you see this post coming in from United We Stand where it says, a friend of mine posted this last night. She was watching a YouTube video when this ad came on. Pardon my language, but what the actual F? Now, as you go down, of course, it says you can check out the website here. I'm still confused. Is this supposed to be some kind of parody? Either way, having this come out of nowhere as you're watching YouTube is a little whoa. I couldn't agree more. Apparently, this is some form of dark comedy. It's shocking that anyone would be okay with allowing children access to such material. And again, kids are on YouTube. So you're promoting death in children. I mean, if you look at the synopsis, Gary Leibowitz is recently dumped unsuccessful and underachieving failed app developer who works retail at a chain sex shop where his ex-fiancée dates his boss openly. He's broke and severely depressed on countless medications, with the only support system being his friend Katie, an older, Jesus-obsessed, drug-addicted prostitute that works the customers around the store. I'm not going to read the whole thing because obviously this is trying to push boundaries to every extent. But the big problem I have with this is that we're now on the Government of Canada website. And when you look at medical assist in dying, medical assistance in dying or MAID is a complex and deeply professional issue for many Canadians. Important progress has been made in preparing for the extension of MAID eligibility for persons whose sole medical condition is a mental illness, meaning if you're depressed, if you're down in the dumps, if your teenage daughter, my boyfriend dumped me, I'm sad, I'm just going to end it all. How many times have you heard that speech from teenagers who don't know any better? They can go and get this procedure done as of March 17th when the rules change. Model practice and standard for MAID is another step that will provide clear guidance to clinicians and health support regulators, help protect those who may be vulnerable, including where the person's sole underlying medical condition is a mental illness, and ensure the safety and consistency in MAID practice across the country. It's a major problem because from my understanding of what's been discussed about MAID, this is going to be open for anybody who says, I'm clinically depressed. I've had enough. I'm just done. When you look at everything that's stacking up in the world right now, this is population control. I'm going to call it what it is. It's population control. The government has packaged our lifestyle to fit a certain narrative. You can't eat, you can't pay your bills, you can't live, you can't get clothing, you can't keep a job unless you do what we say. There's no getting ahead. If you get paid, we're going to take every bit of your paycheck as a result of taxes, fees, monies owed. You're going to be so dependent on us that you're done. You'll either take our assistance and do what we say, or you're done. They're encouraging this behavior. And I haven't heard a lot from the House of Commons in terms of people who are actually against this moving into a depression state diagnosis as of March 17th. As somebody who had a family member who passed away from medical assistance in death, they were given less than 2 weeks on a terminal illness, and they were already in palliative care. And it was about quality of life. And for those situations, I'm in agreement that if they so are cognitive enough to choose and decide that that is what they want, and that is, a short timeline like that, and they'd rather have no pain, then in my personal opinion, I believe that is warranted. And it all depends on your religion. It depends on your beliefs. It depends on how you as a person feel. And much like any medical procedure, I would highly advise people go talk to your local physician, talk to somebody you trust, talk to your spouse, figure out what you want for you and what works best for you. This is appalling. The fact that YouTube allows this ad on its channel without any context is deeply disturbing, because I'm not aware if YouTube is aware of what this project is, and maybe they're just promoting an ad that they think is legitimate. I mean, I'm not going to rule it out of the realm of possibilities. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Should the ad be removed from YouTube? Again, I've tweeted out Team YouTube on Twitter. I usually get answers back from them very quickly. They're usually on the ball with these things, and they didn't answer me within about 6 hours of a tweet today. So I'm not sure what's going on there, or if they're looking into it, or what their stance is on this. I would highly advise, if you're on Twitter, share that video out. Raise some questions about it. These are the times where we need to be saying this kind of stuff needs to be taken away from the watchful eyes of children or adults who, again, as you can see by that ad, aren't even aware of what this is trying to promote, what it's trying to push its message on. Let me know again what you guys think down below in the comments. Please, please, please do the usual YouTube stuff. Again, this is going to get severely pushed down in the algorithm. You know that they don't like us talking about these things, especially medical conditions. So make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment. The thumbs up really helps us in the algorithm, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new to the channel, I hope this video has earned your subscription. As you're clicking, I can't even talk, I'm tongue-tied from this content. As you're clicking that button, make sure to hit your bell for notifications and join us live here on the channel every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time here over on The Fringe, where we do our weekly wrap and we go over everything that's happened in this current week, everything coming up in the week ahead, and a little bit of back and forth with the community. And I'm sure we'll be discussing this on this Sunday's show. I look forward to each and every one of you coming out to that live stream and seeing you there. I hope you have a great rest of your day despite the downward mood of this content, and I'll catch you on the next one.